Okay, so I've got my beans that I've been soaking overnight. Just need to drain those off and get them in the pot. I've got my stew base ingredients. I'm gonna throw in half an onion in with the beans, and also a trick from Nanaaba, a bit of garlic and onions, and I'm going to throw in some smoky sausages into the beans while they cook for about an hour, and I get the rest of the stew base together. Welcome back to Ato's Corner, or Ato's Kitchen. Come and join me today as I'm going to make some red. Come up with a recipe of some delicious ingredients, maybe a few little modifications to adapt it to here, but hopefully it's as close as possible to the real thing in garden. If you've been here before, thanks for coming back and thanks for watching. And if you're new here, thanks for stopping by and discovering this little channel in the corner of the YouTube universe. I'll grab an apron, throw it on, and we'll get ready to go. I always enjoy connecting with people through the comments, so feel free to give us a like, give us a comment. Let me know what you think of the recipe. Let me know if you think it's got too much in it, or if you think I've got the wrong ingredients in there, or if you think I'm missing something. I always appreciate the feedback, the joy that I seem to entertain others with. That's the goal. It's always at the end of the day is just to put a smile on others' faces. So let's get into it. Base together. Got some avocado or pear. These are big ones, normally pears that you see in Jamaica, and not those other piddly little ones from Mexico. Then I've got for my stew ingredients, carrots, my hot peppers. I'm going to go Nanaaba strength with 1.5 of the hot peppers. Always like to have a bit of a kick, and we sure get that. I've got my tomatoes. I've washed all my ingredients already just to get it ready faster. My sweet bell pepper. You know what? Something interesting with the sweet bell pepper. In Eastern Europe, you can buy jars of roasted red peppers, and I know Nanaaba will just char her red peppers over a gas flame, but unfortunately I don't have that. I would have liked to have got some of those red peppers, but I got my very overripe plantains. As part of being in North America or Canada, further north of the US, in an area where there's not a lot of plantain eaters, it's pretty hard to get some decent plantain, decent ripe ones. Sometimes it'll take 2 weeks for these to ripen up, so it's a bit of a challenge for sure. Let's have a look at the rest that I've got over here. Not sure if you saw my recent video, but the butcher chop and block, about an 1.5-hour drive away, they have packs of bacon offcuts or bacon ends. So it's a great way to get little cheap packets full of flavor. It has their maple bacon, their pepper bacon, black forest bacon, and their plain bacon. So there's like half a bowl there. I don't know how much is there. I'm gonna have some coconut oil. I've got my red palm oil. I've got some stockfish that's just soaking in hot water. Got some crayfish powder. I blended up some cumin seeds and anise seeds to get that. Got 1/2 teaspoon of cloves. They were 1/2 teaspoon. There's a teaspoon of curry powder. Got some bay leaves, and then a little bit of chicken stock instead of all-purpose seasoning. I'm going to put that in. So when I cook down the bacon, I'm going to get a lot of flavor and probably a lot of oil out of that, and that's what'll help me cook some of the onion and help build the flavor base of that stew. Got that onion there. I'm just going to put it in the middle. Got all this sausage. Let's get some water on this. So we've got water enough there to cover up the beans. I've turned it on, and we'll get that going. As for the rest of this, I'll start to build the stew base next. Okay, let's get these in there. We'll get the wet stuff in the end, in the bottom. I might even use some bean juice later to help mix this up. So I've got my tomatoes in there. I'm dropping my bits of onion, my chunks of ginger. Yum. Got a couple of garlics in. Oh, that garlic was meant for the beans. Let me go and drop that in. Like I say, really admire Nanaaba for all her little tricks at boosting flavor. Wow, look at these babies. Yeah, you know I'm always a sucker for hot peppers. Come on, pull these stalks off. This could be dangerous. Come on, off you come. So what I was saying is I love how she had all these little tricks and ways of just flavor boosting. So if you haven't watched Nanaaba's Kitchen, get over there and watch her. Pick up some tips if it's all gonna fit. Those carrots have got to go in there too. This might be a 2-stage. Crikeys. It's not gonna fit all that. What am I thinking? All right, we gotta blend some of this. Give us a sec. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so all my stew ingredients there are all blended up and done. We'll come back to those plantains later. And let's get on to building this stew base. Gonna get the bacon in there. Like I said, we're gonna get this in. This is gonna be full of flavor. We'll get this rendering down, and then I'm gonna take it out and leave the oil. And once we've got the oil, then I'm gonna add in the stew base, cook that down a bit, add in all my seasonings, and we'll build that up, and hopefully by that stage, the beans and everything will be ready. I only had a light breakfast so that I could have a mean lunch, brunch, dinner, whichever it's going to be. But I know I'm going to be eating well for the week. This is going to be delicious and full of flavour. When I tell you this bacon is delicious, I gotta make this quick, because if I don't, I'm gonna eat it all. It's so delicious. Tiny little, I know it's not necessarily good for you. It's not for everyone. This stuff is delicious. Oh man, flavor bombs with these beans and amongst all the other flavors. It's just gonna pop out of it. Delicious. Anyway, yeah, building up all that flavor. I think it's time to pull it out. Oh, the smell of this. You know what? I just don't know why I didn't have, don't know why I haven't eaten or used palm oil in my cooking sooner. Oops, it's starting to burn. Need to get some coconut oil in there real quick. Oh man, that's taking it to another level. While that's bubbling away, I'm just going to start to add my seasonings. Got my bay leaves, curry powder, bit of clove, and my cumin and anise. Maybe I'll leave the fish till later. Let's get those flavours developing out there, starting to cook in that oil. Ooh, release all that flavour. Wow, damn, this smells amazing. This is going to be heaven. All that fat from the bacon on the bottom there, just starting to develop. All just crispy bits of flavour, all sticky bit. They're sticking and staying, for those that know. They're being cheeky. Anyway, we'll get the, let's get our stew base in there. Not going to add all the stew base at this stage. I want to keep a little bit left over for the onion that's in with the beans. I'm going to blend that onion up with the rest of the stew base, the little bit that I have left, and then get all that flavour. The beans are getting out of control. Better check on them. I know they've been soaking overnight, but doesn't this just look good? You should smell it. Alright, I'm going to add my crayfish powder and get that in there. That's going to boost the flavour again. I'm wondering, what should I do? Should I add the water from the stockfish? We need to let that cook through. We'll get in this chicken seasoning. Normally needs a bit of water. Yeah, that's good enough. And now we start to spit. This is why we wear an apron. But they're starting to bubble and pop. I need the lid on it. And someone needs to move this bacon because I'm seriously going to be eating it all. Stockfish. So, meant to be able to squeeze these, but I tried eating one. They've got a little bit of bite left in them. Those beans are going to be done soon. Maybe another 15-20 minutes. Yeah. I pulled that bit of onion and garlic out of the beans. I'm going to blend that up with the rest of the stew base, and we'll get that cooking in there as well. And also put in the stockfish. my stockfish in there, just a little bit to get working on getting used to that flavour. I'll add the bacon back in. Seems I got some cleaning up to do. Oh, this is going to be so delicious. You know what? Haven't tasted it yet. I think it needs some salt. I haven't put salt in with the beans. Probably should have done that. Let's get a bit of that bacon fat out of there. That extra flavour. Let's get a lid on that. Just going to let them cook a little bit longer. Wait for that stew base to meld all the flavours together a bit more now that the bacon and the stockfish are in there, and steal a bit of sausage. I'm a little bit hungry. Well, can't wait. That's some delicious smoky flavour. Who would have thought adding the sausages to the beans? Thanks to Nanaaba for that one. It's an awesome little trick. I'm not a big fan of these smokies, but you know what? You might have me convinced. I'm so hungry right now. I gotta taste this for its seasoning. I want to eat those sausages, even though I'm not their biggest fan. Oh, I'm even getting a little bit dizzy, lightheaded. It's pretty hot, as in temperature. Probably needs a bit more salt. Got all that heat in there. I just can't wait to tame it down maybe a little bit with balancing the salt and with some sweet plantain. I've kept a bit of that water. A pretty thick stew at the moment. Might add some of that water just to see how it turns out. Got lots of heat to it. You know me and hot peppers. Favourite friends. This looks delicious. Yum. Look at those peas. Bits of bacon in there. I haven't come across the stockfish, but it looks delicious. Okay, I'm going to leave that to go for a little bit longer. Let's get the plantain started. Like I was saying before, I'm not real happy with these plantains. I actually bought these from where I work. Anyway, won't say too much about that. But 2 out of 5, well, 2 out of 5 are dead hard. Dead cat bouncers. So I was talking to someone, a wise woman, who gave me a few tips that maybe a bit of tatalay might... Not tatalay, these should be used for tatalay, but a tapoli. This doesn't feel like this is going to do anything. Oh, maybe. If your kids are not behaving, you tenderize them a bit. Tenderize them with a tapoli. I'm sure this is not how things are normally done. I'll show you what these... They say these are great for grilling. Well, we'll see. See, like, the skins just stick to them so much, you know? I'm really disappointed in Walmart in this area. Sometimes, you know, we have a load of Mexican farm workers that come through here, Jamaican farm workers. Like, we should have decent plantain. It's actually looking pretty good. They felt a whole lot softer, but maybe we've got some hope after all. Let's have a look at these deadheads. No, it's like they're dead in the middle. They're rock hard. Yeah, it's like they've died on the tree or been gassed when they get brought up here. I'm not even going to use those. Look at that, just rock hard, not even soft. This one did soften up a bit. Let's see what this is like. Yeah, it's just doing the same thing. It's just, yeah, partly soft, but yeah, just rock hard. No good. So I use my soft ones. These are super gooey. We'll see how these fry up. Hopefully these will be my super sweet plantain. Not using the end of that, doesn't look any good. And my last one, I hope to have a nice bunch of plantains, but it's not turning out that way. A bit disappointing. Because you definitely want some sweet fried plantains. I mean, that's the one I like the best. Not a fan of the green ones. Definitely got to be sweet. This is almost better for tatalay. Could I use it? Nah, not going to use it. A little bit of plantain, that's a real disappointment. One trick I learnt some time ago with frying, and especially with Asian cooking, is that if you want to tell whether it's done or whether it's ready to start frying, I don't know if you can see there, but you put a chopstick in there, and if the chopstick starts to bubble, yeah, she's ready to go. Something tells me this might be a little bit too hot. Let's get some in there. We'll get some of the harder ones in there first. And Now, would it be really a Ghanaian recipe if it didn't have this particular ingredient sprinkled over the top? I know it's all looking a little bit crowded there, but is this really red without one particular ingredient? What do you think this ingredient is? Well, it's an ingredient I've had for some time, but I think this is very necessary. Oops. Maybe you need to do this with your finger. But it's definitely needing some gari, a line of gari over the middle of it. So tell me if I've mixed up the ingredients. Let me know what you think in the comments. And guadidi. If you haven't, you're invited and there's a seat at the table for you. So Ato's been hard at work in the kitchen, bare feet, cooking away. Delicious food. I can't wait to dig in. I'm so hungry right now. It smells so good. Next time I'm going to use my tolo beef, I think. And if you haven't seen my tolo beef recipe, you should check that out too. Enjoy. You're all invited. I couldn't help but throw some gari on the top of it all. Wait for this nice hot pepper. Special thanks to Nanaaba for the idea of the sausages. That's an awesome idea. Definitely going to be how I cook my beans. Been a while since I've had any gari. My avocado or pear didn't want to cooperate today. Didn't want to look beautiful for my dish. And I'm trying to roll this into a ball, but again, it's not cooperating. I haven't said it in a while, but it's with food like this and eating with your hands, as we do in Ghana. As this is how Ghana will catch you. So thanks for watching. Thanks for staying around. I hope you feel like cooking it. I'll try and put the recipe in the description box. And thanks very much. Have a great week ahead. Stay safe, everybody. I know things are tough for people at the moment, so thinking of everybody out there. Thanks very much. Okay, bye-bye. Now, I'm guessing I probably shouldn't be adding the water. Jesus. Okay, well, we're not adding that much water now. So let me pour off this water.